Live from the Base Room Studio 2.0 in Seattle, Washington, this is the Podworms Spacecast. The Podworms are 7 lifelong friends who, just like a YouTube ripoff of America's Funniest Home Videos, don't have the star power of Bob Saget or Tom Bergeron, but have millions of undeserved views anyway. Welcome to the Spacecast. Well, hello and welcome to episode 69 of the Podworms Spacecast.
It's getting hot in here.
And
it's warm.
I hope that no one's expecting there to be any salacious or sexy stories on today's show. Today is going to be extremely family friendly. This can be shared with your little cousin, your baby brother, even your, coworkers and friends at school.
Yep.
I want this to be the episode where when you get your friends into the Podworm Spacecast, you share with them episode 69. We have a very exciting and not sexually charged show for you today. And let me introduce to you the guys we have on the show today. We have our hairy handyman turned hairy insurance man, Phil Williams.
Thanks. I'm just hoping we don't get any angry letters from Alfonso Romero. Carlton Banks. He's the new host of AFV. He's taking the crown from Bergeron.
It died after Tom Bergeron for me.
Bob Saget's actually back with his own show.
What?
He's got a
is
competing home videos?
It's called like Videos After Dark. And it's like Bob Saget and it's like uncensored. But it's him doing like YouTube videos that are all like for adults.
Oh my god.
But it's the same style, but it's
sexy
Holy
YouTube
shit.
videos, but not sexy enough to violate any of their code of conduct.
I watched like 3 minutes. I was like, this is dumb.
This is terrible.
My thought on America's Funniest Home Videos is I know how to use a mouse. I can click next video.
Yeah, seriously though. You could just go find them all yourself. But thanks for collecting them for me.
Yeah, just search fail.
You're done.
And you've got it. You've got
Homemade.
America's Funniest Home Videos.
Wait, are we looking for America's Funniest Home Videos or the Podworms Spacecast?
Roasted. Okay, yeah. Well, hey, let me talk about our deadly brother, or at least one half of the deadly brother duo, Kevin McCoy.
Deadly Brother roll call.
And the other half of the deadly brother duo, Mike McCoy.
Deadly Brother roll call ending.
Yeah, that's exciting for the fans at home. Haven't heard that one in a while.
That's a reverse order.
Yeah.
We have our DJ, producer, all around great guy, Chase Golka.
Yeah. Hey. Hello. I like that one a lot better than my other one.
Yeah. And to be perfectly honest with you, I can't remember what we called Peter. Oh, yeah, local historian Peter Fries, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sure.
Yeah, he's here too.
Yeah, he's here.
So we've got a great show, episode 69. We're so excited. We did a little bit of an Instagram live stream for everybody to see the pre-show prep. If you like that, feel free and join us. Every, I don't know. We don't have a very consistent recording schedule, do we? Every other Tuesday. We'll give you some heads up next time. You can join us on the live stream.
Yeah.
So thanks to the fans at home.
Consistent.
Yeah. And
It's
thanks for
every
all
other
the,
Tuesday. Like it's very consistent actually.
And I want to say, thanks to all the fans who engaged with us. The questions, the answers, we went through so many fun stories, behind the scenes tidbits. It was a really fun time. So thanks to everybody for coming out. Hope to see you on the next one. On today's show, we have some podmail. Kevin has a story about a party that he went to, and we have an exciting new game, which is a ripped off version of an actual game called Super Fight. So stay tuned.
I played Super Fight. It's a fun game. I'm excited now.
So before we get into that, this weekend I went to a Mariners game, and I very, very rarely go to sporting events in general. And I think I go to maybe like one a year. I went to a Sounders game once. I've probably been to maybe 2 Mariners games in my life before this. But we went to a Mariners game this weekend, and a friend of the show, Ian Ogles, was in town. And so we didn't just get the cheap bleacher seats. We got the seats behind home plate, which are pretty good.
Oh, la-di-da.
Right behind home plate? We're talking Diamond Club?
Yeah.
No. I mean, like behind home plate, but we were the seats. You could hop out of the back of our seat and be at the hot dog stand.
No. Oh, so you weren't like you didn't get the special entrance like the Diamond Club.
No.
That's the view level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
what you did is cool, but like what Phil and I have done is way cooler.
Wait, you guys have done that?
What? La-di-da.
A couple times in the Diamond Club.
Yeah.
Diamond
you
Club?
can get like prime rib and stuff, and they have like They have a whole buffet. There's a guy cutting the prime rib for you. You get as much as you want. There's booths with TVs in them, so you don't actually have to sit in your seat to watch the game. And then I don't know if this was there when you.
I was a child back in like 2000.
They had a rack of just Mariner swag that you could take. Like there were you didn't have to pay for it.
What?
It was just
so
provided.
awesome.
So you could take like a Mariners Moose stuffed animal, a Griffey jersey, baseball bat, whatever you wanted. The Diamond Club is the shit.
You could take more than one.
I felt too awkward to
That's
take
tight.
anything. But like they had no one policing the. Maybe I was assuming that people are just taking shit. But no, I looked like a rack to just take stuff from.
Peter, I'm pretty sure those are like the umbrellas you see at department stores. You're supposed to like just use them and bring them back.
Yeah, you have a stuffed animal for the game, and then it's over.
It can sit next to you.
Put him back.
Yeah.
Ooh, but I named him.
Can we keep him?
No, it's a game stuffed animal.
He already has a name.
He lives here.
So I wasn't quite Diamond Club, but I guess I was Diamond Club adjacent.
Oh, that's cool.
So, but still, an actual view where I could see stuff going on, which is different than every other time I've ever gone. Because typically I'm climbing up to the, I think there's like 3 tiers in the now T-Mobile Park. Typically, yeah, it's been changed.
We're gonna have to bleep that. We can't use that name.
Yeah.
No, we can't. It's fair use. I checked first.
Wait, really?
No, I have no fun. No, you can say the name of a park.
Yeah. Yeah. I just was curious if you actually checked.
No, it's just called Yes And.
My new
roll
favorite nickname for that downtown stadium area is the Pink, T-Mobile,
The Pink.
and the Clink.
The pink and the
Pink
clink.
and the clink. Yeah, all right.
I fucking like it. That's great. It's going to catch on.
That's cute. But so the Pink
That's cute.
has like 3 levels, and typically I've been up in like the 3rd level where you're honestly better off pulling your phone out of your pocket and watching it on your phone because
you're a pleb.
you cannot see anything. And you're basically just there to kind of drink very expensive beer and just chat, I guess. But this time I could actually see stuff, so it was kind of fun. So maybe I'll go back to another game and get closer seats so I can actually enjoy the action. But one interesting thing that happened is that when you go into any sporting venue or arena, you have to get checked, obviously, to make sure you're not bringing in any illicit stuff. And there's bag requirements. It has to be this size. It has to be see-through. You can only bring this and that. That's how I lost my nifty little Swiss Army multi-tool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we went to Enchant over during Christmas
The
time.
holiday season.
And Enchant was also at the park, and they wouldn't let me go with my little handy dandy nifty keychain, so I had to get rid of that. But so today I'm getting checked, and our line is being held up for so long, and I don't know why. And I kind of peer over, around the people, and there's a dude with a backpack getting checked, and I guess his backpack was fine, but the backpack was stuffed to the brim with snacks. I'm talking like he had all the movie snacks. Like he had a big old bag of Twizzlers. He had Starburst. He had
creams.
chips. He had sunflower seeds. He had literally the whole bag. I think the biggest bag you can have is like 16 by 16 by 8 inches, kind of the general size of the bag.
Do you have Crunch bars?
Bunch of
He had
crunch.
he had
Bunch
Crunch
of
bar.
Crunch.
He had bunch of Crunch.
Crunch. Or like the cookie dough bites?
He had cookie dough bites. He had Junior Mints.
Oh my God.
Did he have an overpriced hot dog?
Rocket Pops?
Yes, Rocket Pops.
Did he have fudgesicles?
He had fudgesicles. Yeah, they were just
Wait, did he have Sour Patch Kids?
he had Sour Patch Kids.
I'm nipping this in the bud. We're not going down the ice cream aisle one again.
Did he have a Bandit wine cooler?
It was like, do you remember that old cartoon, Felix the Cat? Where he had the big bag that was like a magic the whole premise of the show, he was like this black cat, and he had this magic bag that he could pull like anything out of.
Oh, cool.
I realize I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
I know Felix the Cat, but I don't remember the bag.
Yeah, I thought Felix
That might be one episode of Felix.
I remember
Does
the
it
bag,
always
but I
have a
don't
bag?
remember Felix the Cat. I just remember the bag cartoon where it was a magic bag. It had 2 legs and arms. It was
Okay.
walking around pulling stuff out of itself.
What's the other orange cat that's not Garfield?
Cat in the Hat.
No, the other orange cat.
Tigger.
Definitely not.
Tigger.
Never mind. I thought that was Felix, the
Tony
other
the
orange
Tiger?
cat. There's another orange cat.
This
Oh,
is
you thinking of the like Garfield ripoff? like what's his? It's from like
Seinfeld.
Bloom County.
I don't know.
Friends.
Seinfeld, that's what it was. Yeah.
Garfield, Seinfeld.
I meant Jerry Seinfeld.
Simon and Garfield.
Clear ripoff.
Anyways, you got Felix's magic bag.
This is a segment I like to call "Bring Up a Premise and Knowing Nothing About It" and just rambling on. Because there's definitely very frustrated people listening to this, being like, just yelling like, "Felix the cat did not have a magical bag. That was a movie. That was a feature length movie. He found a magical bag. That was a one-time thing."
If
Bill
you
the Cat's also orange.
if you're out there
Bill the
listening, and you are a Felix the Cat aficionado, please write in to pwspacecast@gmail.com. Share your thoughts. We'll read it out loud.
Yeah, we have an eighth, little port here in our recording device, so you could be the Felix the cat aficionado. Okay,
so
Kevin's just pulled up a picture of Felix.
yeah. So I'm like going through pages of Felix. There's only one picture of him with a bag. I remember Felix for sure. Like I used to have cartoons and stuff, but is that the magical bag you're thinking of?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Like a little yellow.
It's like a little.
like a Mary
old-timey
Poppins
purse.
bag.
Yeah, Mary Poppins bag. Right?
Oh, yeah, you should have just referenced Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have a magical bag too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he does.
That's like her thing.
Or you could have referenced like
Harry
Hermione
Potter.
from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You could have referenced Fantastical Beasts. 'Cause
Yeah.
that has a magic bag in it.
But what would our fans who are over the age of like 55 have to enjoy?
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins, yeah.
All right, touche.
Everyone knows Mary Poppins.
So who came first, Felix the cat or Mary Poppins?
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Oh, this is a tough one. I think Felix came first.
Yeah, I don't know much about either of them, but
No, because Mary Poppins is based on a bunch of books.
If the world was fair, they would have
It
come at the same time.
It goes deeper than just the movies.
You don't know the lore of the Poppins universe.
Dude, I'm going to get to the bottom of this while Andrew's telling his story.
You know,
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. I completely forgot why we're talking about Mary Poppins or.
So you
Because
went
of interrupting
to
Andrew.
a Felix the Cat convention?
yeah. This is funny. I don't know if so here just a tangent.
Another
We're
one.
going farther.
We're gonna take one tangent deeper.
Okay.
This is called Russian nesting doll storytelling. Is that we are about in the middle, the tiniest little nesting doll is where we're at right now. But we had gone out to Fiverr to get some feedback on the show.
Yes.
And one person who gave us feedback mentioned that he listened to about 10 minutes of the episode and he said that in the whole, during the whole story, the story kept getting interrupted, couldn't quite follow what was going along. And this is probably why. I can't even remember what the fuck I was talking about.
Your crazy
You're at the
movie
baseball
theater.
park and some guys
Yeah,
go-
right. The guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Mariners game.
But first, Mary Poppins' first book came out in 1934.
Hell yeah.
Is Felix the Cat before or after that?
after, for
After.
sure.
Before.
Before. What? 1919, Felix the Cat. So fuck all y'all.
I could tell by the graphic styling of Felix's bag that it was so circa
Oh my God.
1915.
Guaranteed Mary Poppins, the books comes out and people are like, oh my, they fucking stole this from Felix the cat.
For sure.
Unreal.
Okay, magic bag.
So
We've seen that
we
before.
definitely have checked that big old box for people older than 55 on this episode.
Yeah, it's sufficiently checked. So shout out to all the Felix fans out there. So I was at the Mariners game. The guy's getting his bag checked. He's got all these fucking snacks. And I'm looking at him like, this guy is so busted. You can't just bring in a bag full of snacks like Felix the
Andrew.
Cat into the game, because how are they going to make all their ludicrous money on all the snacks? And lo and behold, they talked to a few people. Like they held him up for a while. And I'm not sure exactly why, but they're kind of chatting amongst each other, like the different people who are checking the bags, going back and forth chatting. And then he gets through with the whole bag worth of stuff. What? And I'm like, wait a second. If you can just bring a 16 by 16 by 8 inch backpack packed like Felix the Cat's famous magic bag with snacks, why wouldn't you do that? Why would you ever pay $9 for the fucking red vine?
Exactly.
No.
This is legal?
This is why
Yes.
they sell stuff outside the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Have
you
you
not-
seen they sell peanuts outside the stadium that you can buy and bring in?
Literally, when you buy tickets, it says on the Mariners website, you can bring in whatever you want, and as long as it's not this, and this.
Wow.
But you can bring in food.
My guess is he got held up because he had so goddamn much that they're like, "Are you gonna sell this?" Because
You a
that's what they
snack
would
dealer.
allow.
Oh, I imagine that they stopped him because they were like, so what? Like, what do you got in here? Do you got Swedish fish?
Can I
in
have
here?
some? Can I have some Sour Patch Kids?
Do you have Sour Patch in here? Oh shit! You got like some junior mints?
Toblerones?
Toblerones?
Man, I've been scanning tickets for like 4 hours. I'm getting hungry.
Dude, I'm getting hungry. What? You got fudgesicles in here?
Do you think any of the security people are like just skimming off the top from like, yeah, I'll let you in, but you got to give me a little bit of those M&Ms.
Just
have you
like
seen
3
those security
M&Ms.
people?
They're
Yeah.
just paying protection money to everybody who's walking. Like, yeah, you can go in, but you got to give me a bite of your hot dog.
Yeah. Some crooked event staff.
Oh my
You really got to feel out event staff because for a lot of. Okay, that came out a little wrong. No, I didn't say feel up.
You know what? I'm tired of them feeling me out.
feeling me out.
No,
It's time to feel them back.
I didn't say feel up. Feel them out. Okay. If you're trying to get contraband into one of these things, you got to find the old lady that you can charm, or the apathetic teenager that just does not give a shit. It goes to the same thing with baseball games,
It's true.
concerts. If you're trying to smuggle a little joint in, you find the stoner bro in there.
Find the stone.
The guy that's not going to care to even check you that much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just amazed. I had no idea. Maybe just 'cause I don't go to enough games, but I was thinking that if I ever go to a Mariners game again, I am packing in my stuff because we, spent, I think like most baseball games, kind of spent maybe a fourth of the time just kind of walking around the stadium.
Yeah.
Buying drinks, buying food. Cause there's all sorts of food you can't really get anywhere else. Like garlic fries come to mind. You got like
Can't get those anywhere else.
what do you call it? The
Dippin' Dots.
Dippin'
Can't get
Dots,
those anywhere else.
Toblerone.
Toblerone,
You
sure.
got,
Cool cream.
Do you guys have
fish.
anybody in your life that tries to convince you that baseball isn't boring?
It's not boring.
Yeah. I don't think it's
I
boring
love
either.
baseball. It's my favorite sport.
Hey, Kevin, you go to hell.
We got baseball.
I've got
lovers
like a
here.
lot of people who are like trying to convince me that like if you spend a quarter of your time at a game getting food and drinks, then I feel like it's not the most entertaining sport.
I'm gonna-
I would agree, and I have been on a double date with a guy I was like acquaintances with and his girlfriend, but we had really bonded over baseball, so we thought, oh, we'll go to a game together, and so we're getting there, and I'm talking about batting averages and the lineup and the matchups and all this, and his girlfriend leaned over and she goes, "Oh, you actually like baseball?" Like she was disappointed that I was interested in the sport we were watching live.
Boo.
Oh god.
Boo.
Yeah.
See, yeah, that's a bit much.
But wow. I get a lot of people say that it's boring, but the reason I like baseball, and I think the reason most people like baseball, is it's the slow anticipation.
Yeah.
Situational.
Yeah, dude.
It's relaxing in a way.
Yeah, I think it's good. I crack a beer, but I also don't really pay attention. Like I'll go to a baseball game.
Oh, Kevin, you actually just described me in all sports.
I crack a beer, but I don't really pay attention.
Yep, that's how I feel.
That's why Mike never got drafted.
I can actually be bored at any sport. I have this talent.
Impressive.
Wow.
You turn on any sport and I will not be entertained.
Any sport?
Turn it on.
What about curling?
Esports.
Women's
Not
field
entertained.
hockey.
Bored.
Wow. That's amazing. If curling doesn't do it, I don't
What
know
about
what will.
okay.
human bear wrestling?
Boring.
Ultimate podcasting.
Oh, wait, you've caught my ear.
Okay, we found Mike's
Professional
Mike's niche.
tag.
Achilles heel. So yeah, I mean, overall, it was a fun experience, but I think without the meandering, without the friendship, take it or leave it. Baseball is kind of like, meh.
You know what? I think we can all agree that baseball without friendship ain't a sport at all.
Last time I went to when it was called Safeco Field. Last time I went there, it was like we were meeting like 20 like family members like that were visiting from different parts of the country, and they were like up on the third tier, like super high up, and they were all sitting in the front row. And I thought I was going to die because we walked down and we go see them, and there's like maybe a 3 foot tall like railing in front of them. But
it's not even 3 feet.
it was super windy, and it was like everyone's like, "Oh, hi, it's so good to see you." So as like we're walking to our seat, we have to like hug and like say hi to everyone, and we're like our back to the like edge of the fucking thing. And I was like, "It's so good to see you. Let me go.
And you feel the vibrations in the freaking stadium.
Yeah,
That place is terrifying as a tall person, the front row of the upper level.
Any place that is high up, the railing is made for someone that is low, is shorter.
It's enough to keep kids from falling off, and that's it.
yeah.
Kevin, have you ever been to Husky Stadium and sat in the upper deck?
Oh, dude.
You would get freaked the
That
if
shit-
you think Safeco / Pink Park is bad, you should go to Husky Stadium because that place is fucking terrifying. It's cantilevered, so it's like it's jutting out over. It's one big metal piece, and the vibrations on it. Like I set my drink down one time, and thank you, Andrew. I set my drink down one time, and the cheering alone, the vibration from that tipped it over. And then you walked in. If you trip, you're gonna roll all the way down and just fall off the fucking stadium. The
You
upper
can
deck.
ski off the upper deck.
Yeah, that
It's
place
that
is
bad.
terrifying. It's so scary. Go. You won't.
It's so scary. Go.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I'm not gonna go.
That reminds me of one of the first times I went to that stadium. I had, you guys know what intrusive thoughts are?
Nope.
So
It's the story of my life.
Intrusive thoughts, they're thoughts that will pop into your head that are, it's a thought that's specifically a very bad idea. And you're aware it's a bad idea. Like, yelling like, fuck you. Like someone's just talking to you randomly and you think like, I just want to yell, fuck you at this person. Like just have those thoughts that kind of pop in. It's very obviously a bad idea. You don't do it, but it's just some random thing where it's like, I could
Right.
trip this guy. I could stab this guy.
Every time someone drives or rides past me on a longboard, all I think about is just shoving them over and stealing the longboard and riding off.
Yeah.
It's like suggesting to like 6 of your friends that you should do a podcast.
Exactly. Yeah, but we execute that one. But basically, I think the purpose, or what people think the purpose of those thoughts are, is that it's conditioning you throughout the day that you're presenting yourself with a premise and you're not doing it. So it's kind of like, I know that this is a bad thing I shouldn't do. But I remember I had this thought when I first went there. I looked down and I was like, if I just jumped off, like if I had like a quick moment of insanity where I decided like, I'm just going to jump over this railing, I'd be fucking dead. It's like you're so high up, and it really is just like such a short little railing where it's like if you just felt like jumping off, you're good to go.
You don't think the people under you would break your fall?
I mean, to what extent could they really break your fall?
You might survive.
You might just take out another person with you.
Yeah, you might kill 3 people, but survive in a very paralyzed state.
Well, if you jump off and out, I
Yep.
think your chances of dying
Tuck and
increase.
roll.
Spread your
Yeah.
coat and use it kind of like a hang glider.
Yeah. Oh, that would look dope.
As long as you don't land on the marching.
You look like fucking Batman, dude. Just fly out there.
At any
that
point,
sounds
did you?
sick.
Out there.
That sounds sick, dude.
That sounds so fucking sick,
Dude, let's
bro.
go to Safe
You
Go.
should go
Let's
do
get
that.
let's get our fucking capes and let's just do it.
Let it rip.
Let it rip.
And Kevin, you said baseball is boring.
That's a football stadium.
Safeco?
Look, well, I thought we were talking about. Are you were talking about Safeco again?
I don't think we're talking about any sport at this point.
We're just talking about
Letting it rip.
high places at stadiums
And
generally.
flying off.
That's a
of it.
football stadium.
They've all got them.
They've all got them.
I mean, but every single time I'm in a high place, I think about the fact where it's like I could just jump right now and I'm toast. Do you guys not have that thought?
Oh, all the time.
Constantly.
Yeah, oh,
no,
yeah.
I don't have that thought. I've talked to my friend Phil about this because he had this thought. We were like different friend Phil.
But
Your dad?
Incidentally, I also have the thought.
You guys should talk to each other. The Phil cast.
Maybe set up a date, or I don't know.
You have more in common than
Like,
you
what's
thought.
his number?
We climbed the haystack up at Mount Si, which is terrifying.
Ooh,
Scary.
I got all the way up to, not that this is I got all the way up to the top of Mount Si, and I looked up at the haystack and I was like, no, not doing it.
Just a rock face.
Yeah.
And we you go up it and you're mostly against the mountain, but then the last bit, you're literally like climbing at the edge of a cliff, up a cliff for like the last, I'd say 15, 20 feet. And it's just the most terrifying thing. And we look down and like barely hanging on this little branch was just this Snapple bottle, just an inch from 1,000-foot drop.
Damn.
And it was like 4 feet from us that you could never touch it because you would die.
Yeah.
But just seeing that bottle and seeing how close it was to falling reminds you how close you were to falling. And like both of us were like, that's the scariest shit I've ever seen in my life.
You have dream nightmares of this Snapple bottle now.
Dude, I literally saw him this is like 2 years ago that we did this. I saw him like last week and I was like, you remember that Snapple bottle? He's like, oh man.
Oh, it's my dreams.
You're gonna wake up to your wife. I tried my best. I just couldn't save him.
What was the fact?
He was too far gone.
That's why Kevin never drinks Snapple.
I can't anymore.
So we've got ourselves a podmail, and
Nice.
this podmail, I'm very happy to report, comes from a real person using their real name. Now, this is a big thing because
Boring.
At this point, I'm going to require driver's license and social security to verify the identities.
Yeah, we need a triple verification. So this comes from a guy at Clive_Shell. He writes in, "Hi, space worms," which is interesting. He calls us space worms, which is actually the name of our original sketch comedy group from high school.
Dang, he's a real fan.
So he might be either a real fan or he just kind of deduced what the.
Does he not know that we're podworms?
I don't know.
It might be more obvious than we think.
yeah, let's criticize the guy who decided to write a real email.
I'm not.
We're not
We're just
criticizing.
clarifying
We're
that we've
actually
progressed from
impressed.
the first evolution. We're now the second evolution.
Yeah.
Will eventually be our Charizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're Charmeleon
Honestly,
right
Everyone
now.
knows that a space worm turns into a podworm.
And then it
Turns into
Podwormelion.
And then Podworm Charizard.
Podwormazard.
Podwormazard.
Better. Okay, that's better.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So he says, "Hi, space worms. Big fan. Super recent victim of Mike's Instagram propaganda campaign."
I don't appreciate that entirely, but just starting up an organic conversation. That's fine.
I realize my South African first name, which is Sabaniso. Yeah, I probably fucked that up. Might be hard to pronounce for you Americans, so you may call me Clive, and I will.
Hi, Clive.
Clive.
5.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Is that a natural nickname in South Africa? Or is that you just
know. Clive, why don't you follow up with us and let us know how did the Clive name come about?
I don't know. I just didn't know if this was a
Like
Joseph
a one-to-one,
Joe situation.
like
or,
a one-to-one comparison.
I do
I
love.
don't think so. It doesn't sound like it.
or
I
this
do
is more
love
like a
Clive.
fake name.
Yeah.
I think Clive is. And it's not like the obvious choice. So whatever it is, wherever it came from, I love it.
I think if it's chosen, I feel like that's an awesome name to choose.
and
Maybe
if
he's
it
a-
wasn't chosen, it's also an awesome name.
There's some cool people named Clive.
Clive Owen.
That's exactly what I was
Boom.
gonna say.
That's
Name
number
one
one.
more Clive.
Uh,
Just one. All I want is one.
Clive Johnson.
Clive Davis? Is that a real person? Did I make that person up?
Did you make up Clive Davis?
I'm sure there is a Clive Davis out
Sorry,
there.
Clive
Shout
Davis.
out Davis.
Clive John Cena down the road. Yeah,
Yeah.
fucking good. Love that dude.
Clive, the guy that wrote in.
So Clive writes,
Party of Clive?
"Anyway, I found myself in a little bit of an awkward situation at the movie theater. I enjoy sitting right at the end of the row with about a metric ton of snacks." Okay, this sounds like somebody that I know.
Yeah.
He goes to baseball games as well.
He says, "Most of which I sneak in, and I usually never have any trouble. This time, however, my usual seat was taken, and I found myself stuck in between two preteen kids who promptly took possession of the cup holders on either side of me.
Oh.
Feeling too anxious to speak up and worried they'd rat me out to theater security for sneaking in contraband snacks if I did anything."
Oh boy.
Well, he thinks
I love that that's the reasoning for not wanting.
preteens are going to rat on somebody.
Oh, preteens are the most likely
What
to
if
rat.
they tell on me?
He's like a
You
drug
think
dealer
so?
that
Oh,
got
yeah. They don't think of the consequences because they snuck stuff in, but then this fucking guy is getting in their way, so they're gonna go straight to the authorities, and everyone's getting kicked out.
Yeah,
It's actually, it's probably pretty likely.
So he says,
it's pretty likely.
I decided to sit there with a lap full of sweets and two giant cups of slushies in my hands for the next 2.5 hours.
That's got to be fucking cold too.
Yeah, that
Cups of
Like the worst.
slushies?
It was one of the
Just
most.
melting.
Did he wait? How did he get? Did he pay for the slushies?
No, he snuck this all in.
No. He snuck the snacks in, but I'm sure he bought the slushies.
Yeah, I don't think he
sneezed.
snuck no slushies.
Please
in.
write back and let us know how
That'd
you
be
snuck the
amazing if he
slushies in.
stole all this stuff.
If you slut,
and snuck into the theater.
he didn't steal any of it.
No, he stole all of it and snuck into the theater.
Wait, what?
No, he didn't
He
steal
didn't pay
it.
for anything.
Yeah, he,
Okay,
That's why I respect you, Clive.
the only way he can get a thrill is if he robs a convenience store,
Go straight to the movies.
gets all their slushies. It's fucking completely melted and flavorless by the time he gets to the theater.
Gets to the theater, pees for half the movie, drinking 2 slushies during a movie.
what a rush.
But also, he is bold enough to rob a convenience store, yet still intimidated by the preteens.
No. Sneaking the food into the movie theater is just kind of a way to keep the high going, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. Well,
After that, I bet he goes jaywalks or something.
and the preteen on the left was the police chief's son, and the preteen on the right was the mayor's son.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you can't tell them.
You know what movie it was? Ocean's 8.
You know what? I hate to poke holes in Clive's story here. He has 2 slushies in a movie theater that he snuck in, quote unquote, 2 different groups of teens encased him here because to
Yeah.
steal both your armrests, they have to come from both sides. So this was two separate groups of teens that
Yeah.
sat right next to him.
Yeah.
Like, what movie was he seeing that was so crowded?
I
What
thought
team?
he said he likes to sit on the aisle.
I don't know. I feel like that's like if he just went to see a movie when it just came out. I don't feel like that's a big a surprise.
You got two people sitting next to you.
I do want to. I would like to know what movie it was.
Maybe I just don't see you enough
Have you never
movies.
been in a crowded theater?
Have you never yelled fire in a crowded theater?
Phil never goes out to movies. Yeah, you go to like any Marvel movie like near opening night, it's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty full.
You're gonna be sitting with people on both sides.
My wife today
Deal
bought
breaker.
tickets to Endgame, and she bought them online. She waited 2 hours online. They literally had a digital line where
God.
she had two screens open.
That's like buying
Yeah.
Star Wars tickets. It always takes forever.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
shocked.
What do we finish the email? I feel
Oh
like
yeah,
we're
let me
still
finish
getting
that.
through
He said, "My question is, how do I act if I ever find myself in this situation in the future? Were there any steps I could have taken to turn 2 hours of torture into some kind of win? Help me, Space Worms. I'm having anxiety nightmares about this ever happening again. Thanks, guys. Clive.
I got
Get
it.
high.
I got it.
All right,
I got it.
let's hear it.
Before you even sit down, put those slushies in those cup holders.
Yep.
Because he sat down and then the cup holders were taken, right?
Yeah.
You put those slushies in, then you sit down and situate yourself with all your snacks. Get those slushies in first, and then if you can't get the slushies in, you go sit somewhere else, and you get those slushies in.
Or leave the theater on principle. Okay.
Walk right out.
Walk right out.
Go see-
leave all your shit.
There is probably a fine rom-com playing down just a couple doors down. Okay.
What he should have done though actually was to frame the kids that were by him. Take the slushies, take all the shit that you brought in, be like, "Hey guys, you want some like free food and candy snacks?" "Oh yeah, man." Then go walk up to the theater officials and say, "Hey, kids up there, they brought all this contraband in. You gotta get rid of it."
Ooh,
but
I
only
like that.
only use a quarter of your contraband.
Yeah, hide your other
Quarters
contraband.
of it for when
Yeah.
that's
Nice,
gone.
nice.
Or you offer the security, you're like, I'll take care of it. I'll get it out of here.
I feel like if you have a drink, if you've got a slushie and the other person doesn't, but they still got their hand on the thing, like that takes drinks take precedence over like any arm any
yeah.
day.
Yeah, I feel
Drinks
like he
take
could have just
precedence.
been like, "Hey, dude, can I use this cup holder since I can't use this other one?" And I bet the guy would have been like, "Oh yeah, sure. Let me move my drink."
Or overpower him.
Problem solved.
That's true. Asking the question, sure.
Yeah. Well, I have a question here that's unclear to me. Is that we're all okay with the fact that he's like taking stuff into the theater? I think that's fine. You know, fight the power and
It's like a baseball
Stick
game.
it to the
man.
man.
resist the man. And
Nobody
whatnot.
gets upset at the French resistance fighting the Nazis.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Yeah, no one.
We're all on board with Clive. My question is, I'm just getting the impression here that he's by himself, which is great. I mean, watch a movie by yourself, have a good time. That's fine.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Why two slushies though?
I have a
Yeah,
solution.
I actually was thinking that too.
I have a solution.
Are you that into like I've never even met a person that's even like mildly intrigued by a slushie.
So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
You've had a mixed slushie, right? You've had two different flavors in the same slushie, right?
Oh yeah.
But have you ever had two separate drinks of slushies and mixed them in your goddamn mouth?
Oh, Kevin,
Oh, like a
you
real
are
time.
So correct. You nailed my solution for it. The cup holder is just one way to hold your beverages. The beer hat is also a deal breaker.
Wait, how do you explain walking into the movie theater with the beer hat on?
You put a reflective vest on and remove the cords, so you look like a construction worker.
Just off duty.
Came from the site.
Just came for the site. And then you go sit down.
Just trying to
gonna
catch
see a
Marley
flick.
and me after work, you know.
See the place where I need to sit down and relax.
I have another solution for Clive. Clive, we have a friend here named Phil. He hasn't been to the movies in a while. Go ahead and take him with you. That way you'll have at least one armrest.
Yeah.
And a friend to share those slushies with.
Take Phil to the movies.
Yeah. Find out if that wife really does time travel. Sorry, I like the idea of really obscure films that none of us would go see. So I tried to top Marley and me.
You have no fucking idea what you're talking about. So have you guys ever watched more than one movie on the same the same ticket. Like you get one ticket, you go and you sit in the movie, and then afterwards you're like, let's see what else is playing.
Yes.
Nope. I've actually never done that.
That it just seems like, I mean, there's nothing really to prevent you from doing it. I don't think that anybody in the staff is going to tackle you or anything. I even have a coworker who a few weekends ago, her kind of like date night thing with her husband was to go and do like the trifecta, where they were planning on purchasing one ticket and watching 3 movies. And I was like,
Damn.
that's fucking like
That's a-
6 hours
that's a
of
marathon.
movies at a theater.
It's like more than that at a theater.
Yeah.
Also, there's no way there's 3 movies I want to see at a theater at any given
where the
moment.
timing works out. Yeah.
That's so true.
Because you're really at the whim of the timing of the movies.
Isn't it harder now to? Well, I guess if
They've
the
got their prearranged seating.
if the theater's like if it's like been
Prearranged,
weeks
yep.
since the movie's been released, then you can probably find a seat. But Clive, find a movie theater that has single seats. That like with the reclining and like the cup holders, because everything has cup holders built in now.
21 and over theater, and you won't have preteens.
Preteen, yeah, there you go.
But let's think about this.
Cut out the middleman.
The
Preteens. Preteens are middlemen.
Yes,
Because they're in the middle of kids and adults.
If only adults could get with kids without that middleman.
Thanks for writing in, Clive.
And if you have your pod mail, send in pwspacecast@gmail.com is a place to be, or you can follow us on Instagram and send us a DM. You can get all up in our DMs. That's Podworm Spacecast.
And Clive, remember, please write back in and tell us how you came up with Clive.
Yeah.
Thanks, Clive.
Yeah. If you want us to roast you, send us an email. All right. Kevin went to a party. Kevin, let's hear about it.
I did. I went to a birthday party about a week and a half ago. It was a friend's birthday party. It was like actually pretty nice too. It was like a cocktail party, so everyone wore black and white dressed up. It was kind of fun. I felt very adult.
What'd you wear?
I wore a blazer and a button-up shirt.
Oh, so you
And some
Dressed
dress
down?
shoes. Yeah, I looked fucking great.
Nice. Great. Good for you, man. That sounds awesome. I'm happy for you.
That's the story.
you.
yeah.
Dude, and I looked great. All right, what else do we got?
No, so we were me and my friend Oliver and my other friend Ari were hanging out. And we met this guy that I've never seen before. All 4 of us are sitting on the deck, and we've had a few beers at this point, and we just start talking about flat Earth. And like it just starts off
Very adult.
It starts off like this. It starts off in this. Oh yeah, of course the Earth is flat. Like I don't know. Have you seen it? Look, it looks flat. And just like we're doing this. And I mentioned that I don't know if you guys knew this, but you can see the Space Needle from the top of Nike Hill in Canyon Park.
Oh.
Which is like 12 miles away. You can
Really?
actually see it, the Space Needle from up on
You
top.
can see
of
it from our neighborhood.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
On a clear stage.
That's amazing. Anyway, so we just kept talking, like literally about 20 minutes of like flat Earth jokes. Like, yeah, I mean the stars just stay there, and then the sun goes past, and flat Earth. We're like doing this, and then like 20 minutes into it, and he goes, yeah, and NASA, the NASA logo. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's like it's got an Illuminati triangle on there, and like then he just like started getting very serious about it. And I think all 3 of my friends and me realized that we've been talking with this guy thinking we were all joking for like 20 minutes
Oh, no.
about flat Earth. And this guy was serious the whole time.
shit.
That is so
Dang.
funny.
So how'd you get yourself out of that conversation?
Yeah.
What'd you guys? Did you all like acknowledge it? Did you look at each other like, oh shit?
He started talking about Illuminati for about 3 minutes. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to go get another beer. And I went inside and left. I don't know how they left. But then like I
still
talked
there.
to people later and like apparently that's all that guy talked about in like 4 different groups of people that whole night. It's just flat Earth.
Damn.
And
He's spreading the good word.
Spreading the good news.
Did you figure out how he
great
was
news.
connected
Hey, great
to?
news, guys. Earth's flat.
yeah, I do know how he's connected, but I'm also not trying to blow this guy up.
Well, this is-
Otherwise, nice guy. You know other symptoms of a
Well,
flat
dude, he's
earther?
actually a pretty cool
What
guy.
was he wearing?
He was dressed up in black and white,
Nice.
looking real sharp.
as everybody was. It was a cocktail party. Well, this is probably a good time as any to say that the podworms are officially in support of flat Earth.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
And don't vaccinate your kids.
Yeah,
Avoid
You
at
heard-
all costs.
you heard it here first, and Kevin's got a guy to tell you all about it. He'll be the guest on the next episode.
Yeah,
We'll disguise his voice so that he can come on here without any retribution.
That would be terrible.
The first Podworms expose.
Yeah, it was just such a bizarre experience because it was literally like 15 minutes of making jokes that just like turned a corner where we're like, I could not believe it.
Does any part of you think that he just went and was like, you know what, tonight I'm going to get in 4 separate conversations about flat Earth, and I'm going to convince everyone that I'm an insane conspiracy
I'm
theorist?
sure this man is very reasonable 90% of the week. But as soon as he has 3 or 4 beers in him, flat Earth brain that separates like sane consciousness and flat Earth just becomes one.
What was that thing that you were talking about earlier? The intrusive thoughts?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. He was having an intrusive thought.
for
but he was
sure.
acting on them.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done that thing where you've had to pivot mid-conversation because you're doing the same thing Kevin was doing? You're assuming that the person you're talking to shares the same view as you. You're having a good time. And then they kind of subtly drop that they're on the opposite side. And you have to kind of pivot and be like, oh yeah, no, totally. No, I was like...
Oh, I know that I've had that.
I went over to this girl's house, meeting her parents for the first time. And we were just talking about whatever. And I mentioned at that week, this is back in like 2008 or something, the guy who started the Bigfoot myth died.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Uh-huh.
And there was like a news, it was like the front page of the article where they,
Right.
I don't believe that for 1 second.
sure. Yeah. You're
yeah, it's all good.
so I started saying,
Sounds fake.
so I started being like, did you hear that this guy died? And they found the foot that he made to start the feet myth. And they were like legitimately like 100% on board with Bigfoot. And like, so I had to like backtrack and like start being like the supposed myth. And I'm like trying to impress this girl's parents, but they're like super Bigfoot believers. And I like my lead in story of things that had like, this is the only thing I could think of that I've read this week.
Oh man.
Happens to be just the wrong first turn.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, and that was all planted on this guy by the government because they want to, there's a whole thing. You know the government, right? And
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden they're on your side, like, oh yeah, 100%. They just go into their government conspiracy theories, and you're like, all right, I want him back over. It happens.
Well, you have to weigh, though, how much do you want these people in your lives? Because this is just also a really good way to get rid of people and never have to talk to them again.
Okay, right.
So if you want to pivot and keep them in your life, you can. But if you're like, you know what? This is my opportunity to never talk to this person again, lean in hard to ripping them apart.
But what if you're trying to like go on a date with their daughter?
Right. It's like the first time you're meeting them.
Does the daughter subscribe to the conspiracy theory too?
See, I like that was like there. How do like what do I do? I stop mid conversation and I'm like, hey,
I gotta go.
just so we're clear, Bigfoot or no Bigfoot, and
I just gotta know where you stand.
Why not? People, you know what? People love candid. Okay, that's why they listen to this podcast.
Right. Off the cuff, candid.
Candid.
Yeah.
They love Candid.
Well, speaking of
I
candid,
love candy.
we have.
Oh, do you like?
I'm going to cut that off before it even starts. We've got a great new game adapted from a real game. So I was talking to a coworker of mine. He was mentioning that he was at some party and they were playing this game called Super Fight. And the idea of Super Fight is that you get these cards. There's white cards and there's black cards. The white card has like a person, and a black card has like a power or an ailment or some characteristic about them. And the idea is that you draw one of each cards and then you have to argue for which person with their special like ability and effect would win in a fight. And so I've got a bootleg version of this game cooked up for us because if you thought I was going to go actually buy the game when I can find all the cards on Reddit, you're goddamn wrong.
God, sneaking in fucking food to games,
So
bootlegging fucking.
no, I
board
bought my
games.
food at the game.
Oh.
I spent like $60 on a hot dog.
Oh, he's paid his dues.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Andrew.
I've earned this.
Yeah, he's trying to get back from out of debt.
Sorry, no. I totally agree with Andrew.
Thanks,
what I
Peter.
said earlier.
So great, Peter. So supportive.
So I've got a Google Doc that has the white cards and the black cards. So from Peter, I need a number from 1 to 40.
40.
All right. So
Boom.
we've got a Yeti. Mike, I need a number from 1 to 40.
16.
All right. The Yeti can summon infinite trampolines. All right, that's our first contestant.
Oh yes.
Okay, so Yeti with the power to summon infinite trampolines.
Okay, great.
And Phil, I need you to pick a number between 1 and 40. You can't choose 40.
I wanted 69 so bad, but I'm going to do 39.
Okay. A water buffalo. And Kevin, I need a number from 1 to 40.
27.
All right. A water buffalo who is really good at parkour.
Oh, hell yeah.
So do they fight now?
So yeah, so we have to now, as a podcast, determine who would win a fight: a water buffalo who is really good at parkour, or a Yeti that can summon infinite trampolines.
I think it's pretty obvious.
Honestly, this is going to be
very
this would be
clear.
a crazy fight because
I
think
wanna
about
see it.
the
Bonkers.
Yeti man throwing infinite trampolines at this water buffalo, but it's so good at parkour that it can just jump across each one.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's like you're like you think that it's a really good power, but it really the water buffalo can just
think-
use it against
Yeah.
you.
You've nailed it because if it was just a Yeti versus a water buffalo,
Yeah.
obviously the Yeti's going to
Yeti.
win.
Oh, definitely.
Every
but-
time.
The Yeti's ability in this scenario is actually a weakness.
Here's the thing, though. Once the water buffalo gets up to the Yeti after they parkour through all the trampolines, like how
Yep.
this water buffalo is good at parkour, not at murder. So it's kind of like
Also,
Or
Yeti
fighting.
Yeti can build an infinite shield of
Trampolines.
exactly. I
Hold
think
on.
it's. I think honestly, if it
can
was,
water buffalo even get to Yeti?
I feel like if it was a cricket that could.
So what if the Yeti shielded himself with trampolines, made a trampoline shield around him,
Right.
and then the water buffalo's outside of it, and he summoned infinite trampolines in the same spot, starting a black hole that the Yeti or that the water buffalo gets sucked into.
Yeah, that's true. Infinite.
obviously.
Infinite tramp. Yeah, that makes sense. Infinite trampolines, infinite mass.
Yeah.
That's a black hole.
So I think we're going with
Yeah,
the Yeti.
Yeti.
With
yeah,
the
Yeti
trampolines.
for sure.
I was thinking water buffalo at first, but yeah, definitely going Yeti.
So-
after all of this,
So to kind of conclude, so we think that the Yeti will summon the trampolines. He thinks he's got the upper hand. He's feeling pretty smug. But then the water buffalo actually like jumps on the trampolines, uses his parkour moves. He's dodging all the trampolines being thrown at him.
Yep.
He goes for the kill, but then it's like, oh wait, this is a fucking water buffalo, and that's a motherfucking Yeti.
Yeah.
And the Yeti just takes his Yeti fist and just punches the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Yes.
or summons a black hole.
Or
Either one.
someone's
Or
yeah,
one of the
or
other.
creates a black hole. With
Remember
it.
the bubble shield from Halo 3?
Yeah,
I imagine
yeah.
that.
just in trampolines.
In trampolines. And then from the inside, he summons a black hole and sucks him away.
Right.
Yeah.
See, what
And he's
people
protected by the trampoline shield, which is why he doesn't get sucked
This
in.
Yeti's essentially Gandalf.
Yeah.
see, this is what people don't understand is that they think surface level, like, okay, can summon infinite trampolines, all right, bouncing and bouncing, whatever. They don't think about the whole black hole thing.
Yeah.
That's
It's
next
just
level
science.
strategy.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's actual science.
That's why the Yeti is the man.
yeah.
Can we do another?
Yeah, let's do another one here.
Yes.
Chase, 1 to 40.
2.
All right. So we've got an army of skeletons.
Ooh, army of skeletons.
Mike, 1 to 40.
9.
Okay. An army of skeletons who have access to a limitless loot crate. And I'm assuming the loot crate, let's go with this is the product that gets sent to you every month with fun, geeky gear. All right.
A limitless.
So an
what does that mean?
Like
Every time you
like,
open it, it's renewed.
It's like Felix the Cat's bag.
It's Felix the Cat's bag. Yes.
All right.
so you can just keep
Or
pulling
an army
fucking-
of skeletons.
fucking like swag out of it.
Yeah, I guess.
Hang on. We haven't heard the second guy
Okay,
yet.
let's get the second.
Okay.
one.
Okay. Kevin, 1 to 40.
14.
Okay. A honey badger and
Okay.
Phil, 1 to 40.
13.
Okay. A honey badger who can leap over tall buildings in a single bound.
Oh, I also want to see this fight.
All right. So we have an army of skeletons with access to a limitless loot crate, TM, and we have a honey badger who can leap over tall buildings in a single bound.
Question: what army are these skeletons from? Like,
That's
are they actually trained skeletons who are good at marching?
That's up
and
to us to decide.
Shooting and stuff. Or are they from some country that doesn't have a very good army?
Let's figure it out.
And if they're skeletons, they're probably bad soldiers.
Yeah, I imagine they're not great.
Yeah.
But they
They're
are in an
klutzy.
army. They're not just skeletons. They are an army of skeletons, which means they would have had to been, drafted into the army at some
Poorly
point.
trained.
So,
They at least know that they're in an army.
so this is how the fight goes in my brain.
Yeah.
They're out in the middle of the desert,
Right.
and the skeletons are just crowding this one area, and they're just pulling loot out of this limitless loot crate, and they start throwing it at the honey badger, and he keeps jumping over it and dodging all of it. Nobody can get a hit on this guy
Yeah.
until they fill up the entire desert to where it's 30 stories tall,
Yeah.
full of just
With like
loot.
keychains, knicknacks,
With
t-shirts.
Stranger Things shirts
Yeah.
and fucking Adventure
Posters.
Time.
Podworm hats.
Daredevil.
Season 4.
Oh, fake Minecraft foam swords.
Right. And the honey badger, which would normally just be able to jump away from this, is now landing in the loot.
Oh, he's like sinking
kinda
into it.
just like kind of, it's like quicksand of
Yeah.
loot. And the skeletons are kind of used to like wading through the loot, and they slowly just kind of strangle it.
Oh, yeah. It's just dragged down into the loot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm inclined to agree, although it really brings me back to the classic YouTube video, Honey Badgers Don't Give a Fuck.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's true.
All right.
Yeah.
One of the most ferocious, I guess, pronouns in this game is the honey badger. I don't know
Okay.
if there's anybody else that, but jumping over buildings is pretty irrelevant versus skeletons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only thing is I feel like it's not just an army of skeletons. It's an army of skeletons that has infinite, knickknacks and loot
Swag.
and stuff. Yes, it's like they're
So much
looking
swag.
good while they're doing this. No, I just feel like, a honey badger, even if they were in the city and the honey badger's like jumping around on rooftops, eventually,
Just one honey badger. But-
eventually it's
But
gonna get taken
the
over.
honey badger can burrow. And if we're in a desert, you can just burrow down into that sand and get away.
So let me propose an alternative scenario here we haven't considered. Let's think that this is an army of skeletons. They've been dead for a while. They get access to this limitless loot crate, and they're opening it, and they're trying to collect all the collectible action figures from the Funko Pop figures.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're trying to get all the Avengers, and they're sitting there so distracted, like they're opening the crate, they're picking them out, they're not getting the Funko Pop figure they want. They're all sitting there just looking at the crate. The honey badger just sneaks up behind them and just rips them apart. No problem.
Yeah.
One by one.
Actually,
I feel like you would have to grab one at a time.
I don't know.
yeah.
No.
The honey
I don't
badger?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine because they don't even notice. They're so enthralled.
Yeah, the loot crate's almost a weakness because the skeletons are so enthralled by.
Right.
They've never seen
This
anything
is
like
an
this.
army of skeletons again, not just skeletons.
But poorly trained army.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
I think I know the origins of the army. Perhaps this army is all the people that subscribed to Loot
Yep.
Crate,
Yep.
and then died. So it's a resurrection of all their dead undead
So then they would
subscribers.
absolutely
They
be
love the
trying to
loot
collect
crate.
everything.
And
yeah.
these people, their bone density, they weren't very healthy in life. So they're not the best skeleton
They're just sitting
specimens.
there arguing like, oh man, I ordered a medium, but this isn't a fucking
I
medium.
can't believe they canceled Firefly. God damn it.
But we're on season 20 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Oh my God, tell me about it.
God.
Oh, where'd John go? Is that a honey badger?
Oh shit.
Well, so how does the honey badger kill one skeleton though?
Yeah.
Rips his fucking head off.
I would assume
Fucking kills it.
skeletons usually the classic way to kill a skeleton is just by like hitting it with something, and once all the pieces fall apart, then it's dead.
toast.
It's dead again.
It's like you hear the xylophone sound.
I would imagine that the honey badger does a move like Sonic the Hedgehog where he spins in place and just shatters them like he did
Yeah.
a strike.
like bowling
in bowling.
pins, yeah.
Okay.
I gotta go. I gotta go with the honey badger on this one. Yeah.
The fucking boss music plays. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I think honey badger wins.
Hey, well, space fans, if you have a different opinion, if you think that the army of skeletons with the infinite loot crate would actually win, let us know. pwspacecast@gmail.com is the place to be. You can follow us on all of our social media platforms at Podworm Spacecast, and you can even check out our website, Podworms.
Nope.
Fuck. PWSpacecast.com.
Yep.
You, Andrew, should check out our website.
You should really go check it out.
It's my homepage. I go there every single day. I'm just so used to seeing it at this point. I don't even register it anymore.
Right.
So tell a friend about the show. Tell an enemy about the show. Tell a construction worker about the show.
Yep.
If you enjoy the show, share it with others because there's nothing more fun than cuddling up with your friend on a Tuesday, listening to the Podworm Spacecast together and just discussing all the fun banter. Hitting pause, rewinding, going back. Oh, what was that joke? Because the show is so layered. There's stuff
yeah.
going on
Yeah.
you don't even hear the first time through.
It's like a parfait.
It's like an ogre.
It's like an ogre, exactly right. Thanks for listening. Appreciate your support. And as always, space fans, until next time, keep squirming.